They are cherished, not just by the family, but by our entire community who watched them grow.
As the manhunt for Travis Decker, the Wenatchee man accused of killing his 3 young daughters, stretches into another day, we're learning more about the sisters and their growing fundraiser to support their mom.
Sunshine continues for our weekend with a little bit of breeze on Friday. We'll have all the weather in our night report.
Our family and all of our crew have put a lot of work into this. So yeah, everybody is devastated.
A local family forced to pump the brakes on their brand new mountain bike park just days before it was slated to open. We'll tell you why tonight. Good evening and thank you for joining us for the KREM 2 Night Report. I'm Mark Hanrahan. Tonight, the massive search continues for Travis Decker, the man charged with killing his 3 daughters. The girls were last seen Friday night, and they were found dead on Monday by a campground near Leavenworth. New tonight, the Okanogan County Sheriff's Office now says Travis Decker may be traveling along or near the Pacific Crest Trail. Residents, particularly those on the west side of Okanogan County and in remote or seasonal areas, are urged to remain vigilant. Early today, Chelan County deputies announced they are closing the area around the Enchantments mountain range until further notice as that search continues. Right now, investigators are asking those who live or have cabins in rural parts of Chelan, Kittitas, King, Snohomish, and Okanogan counties to lock their doors, leave windows, blinds open, and turn on the outside lights. Tonight in Wenatchee, nearly $1 million have been raised for the mother of the 3 Wenatchee girls murdered near Leavenworth. This is only the second time in the state of Washington that a GoFundMe has raised that much money. Alex McClune with our Seattle sister station is in Wenatchee tonight, where the fund organizers held a news conference late this afternoon.
The press conference was short, but through the tears, you could hear just how much those friends love those little girls as new video shows their personalities at home.
Decker, 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 nice.
Limbo in the living room.
You can't stop halfway, Abby.
There we go, Abby, nice.
The girl's mother says this home video captures the personalities of her girls, Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia.
Go on, Olivia.
They're practicing limbo at their grandparents' house before school 3 months ago. 3 lights in Wenatchee. Classmates and members of their church continue to visit the memorial in the center of town. The grief is felt across the country and across the globe. A Facebook page dedicated to the girls' memory shows people around the world lighting 3 candles and sending words of support, including people from Germany, Ireland, Australia, Italy, and South Africa.
The outpouring of love, generosity, and support has been overwhelming.
Those generous contributions will afford Mom time away from her job as a financial analyst and cover the cost of her final goodbyes. The girls were going and loving their young lives at home, at dance, and with their classmates. Evelyn was a member of the Greater Wenatchee Soccer Club. They walked the halls of Lincoln Elementary. They were part of an acting group and left a mark across their community.
They are cherished, not just by the family, but by our entire community who watched them grow, perform, learn, and love. We ache with the love we still carry for them, and we always will.
Forever missed and remembered. Here in Chelan County, the Sheriff's Office says no further press conferences are scheduled at this time. In Wenatchee, Alex McClune, KREM 2 News.
As a reminder, Decker is about 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighs 190 pounds. He has black hair and brown eyes, and he was last seen wearing a light-colored shirt and dark shorts. If you see him, do not approach. Instead, call the U.S. Marshals at that number right there at the bottom of your screen. Stay with KREM 2 News as we continue to track the manhunt for Travis Decker. You can watch the full press conference with the woman who set up the fundraiser for the family on our streaming app. Just download KREM 2 Plus on your TV and watch for free. All right, let's talk Wednesday on this Thursday evening. Regan Gallows in for Jeremy tonight. Regan, it was a beautiful day, warmer than yesterday, and even warmer weather is ahead.
That's exactly right, Mark. Yeah, we've been kind of doing this slow climb to heat all week, and now we're really going to get into those hot temperatures, throughout this weekend. So more sun every day, and we're going to get possibly our first 90-degree high of the year this weekend, with possibly hundreds as well, especially in central Washington. So let's look at our temperatures outside right now, because seriously, it was 80 degrees at like 5:30, and it was 79 all the way through like 7 o'clock tonight. So the heat is sticking around, but right now in Spokane it is 73, up in Colville it is 66, and down south of us in Lewiston it's 70, Moses Lake 76. So it's dark out here, it's 10 o'clock, but you know, it is still plenty warm, and there's lots of warm weather to come as well. Where is that weather coming from? Well, we're definitely getting a southerly flow in this ridge here, which is getting us kind of those desert airs. Tomorrow we're going to also get some air from Canada, which is going to give us about 20-mile-per-hour winds. So with heat and winds, there is fire danger. So there's a lot more to talk about, and we'll be talking about all that heat coming up.
All right, sounds good, Regan. Thank you very much. New tonight, 4,500 grocery workers in Pierce County just voted to authorize a strike. It impacts stores like Fred Meyer, Albertsons, and Safeway, and thousands more workers across the West could vote to join them. But in Washington, a new law could relieve some of that financial pressure on workers who hit the picket line. KREM 2's Caitlin Galloway has more about the new Washington law. Caitlin?
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, the law takes effect January 1st and may have a big impact on future strikes. It was actually proposed by State Senator Marcus Riccelli from right here in Spokane, and it gives workers who are unemployed due to a strike several weeks of pay and benefits following a qualifying strike or lockout. James Teakin is the president of the Spokane Regional Labor Council, who advocated for State Bill 5041.
They would rather look at this as a tool that would have the employer step up to the bargaining table and bargain in good faith.
The council represents nearly 15,000 unionized workers in the greater Spokane area in industries such as steelwork, trades like electricians and cement masons, and post office and federal employees. The bill will allow striking workers to be eligible for up to 6 weeks of unemployment insurance. But Ormsby says it's much more of an emergency safety net than an incentive.
People have trouble affording strikes and lockouts by employers. And we feel this isn't something that the members of the unions that we represent are going to be looking to engage in.
While some unions pay workers for showing up to strike, that funding runs out quickly, and workers are either forced to get another job or accept their employer's offer. But critics were concerned about how a bill like this may lead to prolonged strikes, especially in industries like education and healthcare.
Strikes are hard. They're hard on the unions that have the strikes. They're hard on the workers that are striking. And in fact, they're also hard on the employers. I don't think there's anything in this bill that's encouraging somebody to take the extra steps and go on strike because this unemployment insurance is out there.
Employees who voiced their support of the bill also affirmed that strikes are a last resort, and they don't want to and shouldn't have to withhold labor to get fair wages or health insurance. We reached out to Providence, which had 500 workers strike last spring, and they said they, quote, don't comment on hypotheticals about how this bill may impact health care in Spokane. We also reached out to the city of Spokane, which employs around 2,000 union workers. They said they need more time to look over the legislation in depth before they make any sort of statement. In the newsroom, Caitlin Galloway, KREM 2 News.
Thank you very much. All right, don't go to bed just yet. A brand new mountain bike park in Sago forced to pump the brakes just days before it was slated to open. We'll tell you why. And a bit later on, Doomsday Mom Lori Vallow kicking off her third murder trial in 3 years. Details from the courtroom coming up in 8 minutes.